descendant of Jose Rizal. Once, there was a Filipino who lived in an era where this country was conquered and enslaved for countries. He grew up watching the cruelty unravel in front of his own eyes and decided, out of his good intentions, to change that. He started by striving through education, commitment, and faith. He then communicated his message through his words and inspired many to bring light and awareness to the reality of the world. And he died fighting by giving people hope through the value of self-worth through education. This is the story of Jose Rizal, our beloved national hero, who strived for peace, equality, and love for country. And from here, you will witness his final walks in life, how he changed everything and saved our motherland. On November 20, 1896, the preliminary investigation.
5 days. For 5 days, you say the same damn words like a broken mosaic. Not guilty for this, no culpable para ese, all for the sake of what? Patriotic service.
Serving the king of my country would bring me great joy that you would never compare with. Even from the least you live that you all have.
See? There you go again. With Borreria for esto, Borreria for esto. Do you know that we call these crimes against you?
See? I deny any explanations that could lead me to the revolution. I wasn't part of such thing. I clearly stated that I was.
Now, that's right. You see, these Spaniards are not lenient with the peace of the power. Let's say we have a deep passion sending us from the depths of our heart. A certain passion that even others such as yourself we try to emulate in your own way. Need I say more? Senor Dimas Alam? You didn't think what you would be able to hide the pen forever, would you?
I used it in Hong Kong.
See, Nico? And that was a big mistake. Tell me, to this Friday, open has not means nothing to you, huh? Think carefully. What is it that you're trying to do?
That I am innocent.
Innocent, Enrique? Look at this letter. They are all against you. Mira, a letter of Antonio Luna to Mariano Ponce stating your connection to Filipino reform. Letter from his transportation, your connection to propaganda in Spain.
But these
A
are...
poem of Brittany. A letter of Carlos Condor stating you would be the Philippine Revolution.
I have told you so before, Molinel. If you're trying to ask me to do something new, I said it's you. Give up while you still can.
You hear this?
Naman nagsisama mo sana. 50.
Do you understand what you said? There's no getting back from this. From this moment, nada.
Then I can only move forward.
Then, forward it is.
Sinubuan.
All the findings in this investigation would be handed to the appointed judge Anthony.
Untung. Ay, ba, untung.
Remember, senor, you wrote this on yourself.
On the said year, November 26.
Adelante. ¿Qué es el
I have news for Colonel 11, who wants to appoint you as a judge. Advocate for his infamous results from Calamba.
Oh, the idiot? Well, I'm not surprised.
He said not to restrain oneself in handling this case. Personally, I think this man really has nothing to be condemned. For rather than writing these silly books,
Oh, you think that man is innocent? I read the idiotic rumors of idiotic Rizal, here to feed the slaves or the Spanish taxes. Do you believe all that?
I believe that you as a judge should be more objective, regardless of who stands before you. Careful, Capitan. I still have a few more days before I leave my post.
Of course you do. So as a favor, can you please give these to Don and Don Nicolas de la Peña so he would know what to do?
On November 26, there will be charges against Rizal.
period, while paying for this house, naturally that is an everything.
Kept in prison? Given up? Trial?
Can you not read General?
I can't kneel. At least giving her a lawyer. De la Peña.
Point taken. To be taken by a civil law, no, by an army officer, all the ranks from the first to the second lieutenant in the Spanish army. There, let him choose. He must know the few of them.
If he doesn't, they may be around 100. But these army officers they're talking about?
If he lacks the nerve to simply by thankful to us, then that's not my problem. I have more many things to care rather than fall playing alone with false idiot.
I'll inform you right away.
On December 8, the giving of 100 names list of the council defense.
Tell me, how many can you recognize?
One.
And it was Don Luis Tabiel de Andrade, the first lieutenant of the artillery, which was the brother of Jose Rizal Tabiel de Andrade, that was with him in Calamba. Don Luis gladly accepted his task to defend his brother, favored Dr. Rizal of Calamba. 4 days, Tabiel and Andrade and Jose Rizal spent their times formulating plans for hours, looking for loopholes and searching for solutions. On the most days, they would fight over an idea and be frustrated with each other. But there are those rare times where they would cooperate and finally peace their minds and together in agreement. On December 11, when Rizal charges.
Saludos sa Ecoste. Now that the accused has been chosen as defensor, the following charges are presented as follows. Senor Jose Mercado Rizal is accused as the principal organizer and the leading soul of the Filipino insurrection. The founder of societies, politicals, and books dedicated to fomenting and propagating ideas of the village.
I don't understand. No intimidation. How could they trust the rebellion?
I did write the Constitution of La Liga Filipina. It's a civil association.
Lo siento, senor, but I'm afraid you would not take further statements in the political state for which you vote.
Jose San, I don't know what happened inside the room, but I need to.
We can't do anything. It's us against the country.
No! It's us against the state.
On December 25, the same year, the saddest Christmas. Imagine spending a well-loved holiday alone inside a small cell in jail, thinking of prospect of death awaiting you. That's how it was for Rizal. In a cold, dark room, probably imagining how he spent it with his family and friends. Only to think back about his situation as a French revolutionist waiting for his death sentence. How sadder can it be to spend his last week in his life without anyone to love, and only with the revisiting thoughts of freedom and sadness resonating in his battered body, mind, and soul accompanying him by himself all alone. That's how he spent it. That's how he spent his last day of Christmas. On December 26, 1986, the trial of RIZAL.
Dr. Jose Rizal,
Mercado y Alonso Reyola, who owes it all to his fame. Since it was in his universities that he studies medicine, is one of the principals, if not principal's figure in the APRA. May we call on the prosecutor.
Dr. Rizal, the man behind that lawful literary works, namely Noli Me Tangere, Annotations to the History of the Philippines by Monga, and now Pingo's Turismo along with the rest. Imprinted by the idea of wars against religious orders on his people to protect his new colony. It is no doubt Jose Rizal as the perpetrator of the rebellion, masking himself as the good guy, the hero, guiding these people along with his treacherous crimes. As the symbol and catalyst of this rebellion, he must suffer the consequences through the penalty of penal code by punishment of death.
The defending consultant may now take the floor.
Throughout the years, Rizal has been the white flag, symbolizing the icon of revolution. His name and presence to the threat, said to cause sarai of people between España and the Philippines. On what ground exactly? Has Rizal ever been spoken of turning back to Spain? Has he ever shown hatred toward our motherland to the point destroying our sacred country? Has he directly savagely act against it? Has he gallantly waged weapon of a choice? Has he demanded that shameful changes to happen? I don't think so. Although his literary works were labeled controversial, they were not written out of hate of rage. These were critical judgment, advocating for Philippine rights and national security. Through these very minds and skills, he gained respect from people. He even showed good intention to the Spaniards despite being labeled traitors. And even showed good because of these biases and become clear, judging him is further impossible from his trial. Now, do the prosecutor feel any pang of guilt? Did Rizal's theoretical views of equality and respect show inconsistency? And why you reject it? Is that why you suppress it? Or it was just a tendency of better egos that influenced decision made for us? Objectively, his work do not directly encourage or abbreviate towards an uprising. Rizal affirms that for 4 years, from 1892 to 1896, he lived in exiled Pitan and stay away from anything that was wrong. Even Don Pio Valenzuela asked him to join and then saved himself from escaping in beatable fate. But still, Rizal refused it. From this case, we can rationally conclude that the verdict should be in the name of blind justice. He is not guilty. The judge cannot be vindictive. The judge cannot be just. Let those emotions be carried out from this battle, and let us think firmly and objectively. Let us judge Jose Rizal Mercado y Alonso Reyola not for the sake of revenge, but for the sake of justice.
Does the accused have anything in his defense?
Considering the rebellion since July 6, 1892, I have not engaged in politics until June 1 of this year when Dr. Valenzuela came out to notify me about an uprising, proving that I have no prior contact with them. For if I were in touch, I would have already known about such a grave matter as an uprising. Another negative proof, they do not hold any previous letter from me. They exploited my name very cruelly. And at the last moment, by surprise, they wanted to take me. Why did they not contact me earlier? Possibly because they knew that I, although less than conceited, was resigned about my exile. And I knew that refused to consider me various schemes to escape from the Pitan. Regarding the rebellion July 6, 1892, since my stay in the Pitan, I have not engaged in politics and advise him not to. And they are aware that I am not favored of obtaining freedom through a destructible revolt. All I desire for my motherland in the Philippines is known to experience the essence of liberty. Not through brute force and bloody wars, but through the value of education.
The court will be having a short recess to discuss the further education subscribe. Now, the final decision has been made. The judge has concluded in his verdict that we find the defendant guilty.
Dr. Rizal Mercado E. Alonso Riamunda with the penalty of death, so decreed and ordered by the ordinary marshals as witnessed by the President and members of the tribunal. December 21st, the same year. The visit. The day before execution, visitors came to see him. It was a very grueling and exhausting day, both physically and emotionally. Some faces he knew, some faces he wasn't familiar with, and some faces he would have wished he valued more of his time when he had a chance. But never did he expect this grueling situation until he saw the ever-loving face of his beloved mother.
You are not secure.
The written letters of RIZAL.
Siguro mama ko hardware.
RIZAL wrote letter to his loved ones and valued person.
Professor Ferdinand Lumitre, my dear brother, when you receive this letter, I shall be dead. Tomorrow at 7, I shall be shot, but I am innocent of the crime of rebellion. I am going to die with a tranquil conscience. Goodbye, my best, my dearest friend, and never think ill of me. To my family, I ask you forgiveness for the pain I caused you, but someday I shall have to die, and it's better that I die now in the plenitude of my conscience. Dear parents, brothers, and sisters, give thanks to God that I may preserve my tranquility before my death. I die resigned, hoping that my debtor will be left in peace. Ah, it is better to die than to live suffering. Console yourselves. I rejoin you to forgive one another the little minutes of your life, and try to live united in peace, in a good harmony. Goodbye.
On December 30, 1896, the last walk of RIZAL. His death march at Bagumbayan, where his execution would take place, was solemn. However, even with this situation, he remained calm. He walked with his defense counsel, Lieutenant Luis Sabiel de Andrade, and two Jewish priests, Father March and Villa Clara. His arms tied around Santiago to Plaza del Palacio in front of Manila Cathedral. Jose Rizal, a martyr facing his death, never bothered, didn't even take a sweat. And on March, he marched, facing forward, prepared to sacrifice himself for his beloved country. Rizal bade farewell to Luis March Villa Clara and his defender, Lieutenant Luis Saviel de Andrade. Although his arms were tied, he firmly clasped their hands in parting. One of the priests blessed him and offered him a crucifix of peace.
And el nombre del rey, el que se levante la voz a favor del río, será ejecutado. Attention! Aporte! Fuego!
And it was exactly 7:03 in the morning, age 35, 5 months and 11 days, Rizal dead. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you the characters of this story. Parales J as Jose Rizal, Sanang Angelica as Colonel Olive,
Palo, palo.
as Capitan Dominguez, Urana Aiza as General Blanco, Mendal Joanna as Don Nicolas, Rondoso Aileen May as Lieutenant Luis Saviel de Andrade, Meg Lito as the Spanish Guard, Capon Sexy Maria as the Lieutenant Alcocer, Valdez Rosaline as Theodora Alonso. The three sisters of Rizal are Ana Jessamay, Cayuga Micaela, and Liga Julita. The three Spanish with parents are Calva Michelle, Lugan Edna, and Naluyo Angeline. Father March, Ana Jessamay, Juana Villa Clara, and Micaela. I myself, Lourdes and Pablo as the parent. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.